Thank you very much for that beautiful recitation. We're now going to move on to the talk today, which is by Shaykh Bahmanpour. Many of you will know this is his final 6th out of 6 sessions on the power of dua and closeness to Allah. We've been very fortunate to have him over these last few nights, over these nights of Qadr, and inshallah, please do listen to him tonight and also in future nights, because he comes to Mahfil Ali quite regularly. Many of you will know that Shaykh Bahmanpour studied sociology at SICM Tabatabai University, where he obtained a master's. He was invited to Cambridge University to teach as a visiting lecturer, and his interests are in theology, Islamic mysticism, Quranic sciences and tafsir, as well as history and compilation, and he was the former director of interfaith relations at the Islamic Centre of England. We had planned to have a Q&A session after the talk today live, but unfortunately Shaykh Bahmanpour has been taken ill with COVID in hospital in Tehran. So please do pray for him. Please, we all send our thoughts, our prayers with him. And inshallah, please, if you can recite Amma Yujibul afterwards, please do so. And without further ado, we're going to start the main talk from Shaykh Bahmanpour.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين. In this final session of my talk, I would like to bring to our attention some of the requests that Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam had and has reached us through his Sahifa Sajjadiyya, the dua of the late night of Arafah, dua Abu Hamza al-Thumali, and other duas. However, tonight I will focus on certain paragraphs of dua Abu Hamza al-Thumali. It's amazing how Imam alayhi salam had put his trust in young people. You know, when Imam Zainul Abidin passed away, Abu Hamza was rarely even 20 years old. And of course, he lived a long life. He was later on a companion of Imam al-Baqir, and then Imam al-Sadiq, and then Imam al-Kadhim. He became a great mufassir, a great commentator of the Quran, a great man of hadith, on whom both Shia and Sunni rely. However, in his youth, it was in his youth that the Imam taught him, or was allowed to be in the presence of the Imam to record such a dua like, as we know it today, dua Abu Hamza al-Thumali. The same thing was about Kumail as well. When Imam Ali alayhi salam was martyred, Kumail was only 28 years old. And all these teachings like dua Kumail, like all those statements that Imam Ali has, with which Imam Ali has addressed Kumail, were all before probably his caliphate. And therefore when Kumail was 22, 23 years old. And this tells us that the youth are the foci of hope in every community. I mean, in a time when people deserted Imam Ali, when people especially deserted Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam, and no one dared to approach him, we see these young people were spreading their teachings. Anyhow, before going to Dua Abu Hamza, just certain paragraphs of it, I would like to mention a hadith reported by Shaykh al-Tusi from his teacher Shaykh al-Mufid, with the chain of transmission from Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam. قال أربعة لا ترد لهم دعوة. 4 people, never their dua is rejected. Allah always responds to them. Al-Imam al-Adil al-Ra'iyyat. First, a just leader. So leadership is not a bad thing. Politics is not a bad thing. It's by politics that the affairs of society can be driven towards khair and salah and good. However, the way we know politicians today has given us the impression that politics is not something good. So a leader, a just leader, who is just to the people, al-imam al-adil li-ra'iyyat. I think I read one hadith from, or I heard one hadith reported by Fakhruddin Razi, that he said 1 hour of just rule, just governance over Muslims is better than 60 years of worship and ibadah. So al-imam al-adil is respected and appreciated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the next thing, so the 4 whose dua is never rejected, one is al-imam al-adil. The other is wal-akhu li-akhihi bi-dhahr al-ghayb. A brother who prays for his brother whilst they don't know. Whilst they don't know, it means you pray for someone and that someone never knows that you are praying for him. Or even if later on knows, but you are doing it because of your brotherhood. Then the Imam said that يُوَكِّلُ اللَّهُ بِهِ مَلَكًا يَقُولُ لَهُ وَلَكَ مِثْلَ مَا دَعَوْتَ لَأَخِيكَ. And for you is the same as what you asked for your brother. In fact, this is a shortcut. This is a better way of asking things from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You ask for your brother and the response comes quicker for him and for you as well, the same thing. وَالْوَالِدْ لِوَلَدِهِ. And father for, or لِوَلْدِهِ, for his children. Of course, the dua of mother is very important, but usually fathers do less dua than mothers. So the dua of walid liwaldihi, for his children, is also not rejected. Wal madloom, and of course what all of us know, the dua of oppressed. Yaqulu Rabb, when madloom calls Allah, when these Yemeni people who are oppressed and seized from every side by the whole world, civilized and uncivilized world, when they call Allah, يَقُولُ الرَّبَّ عِزَّتِي وَجَلَالِي, I swear by my glory, by my might, لَأَنْتَقِمَنَّ لَكَ وَلَوْ بَعْدَ حِينٍ, I will take your revenge, even if after a while. It will happen. So these 4 are those whose dua are never rejected. Now let's go to certain parts of dua Abu Hamza al-Thumali to see what Imam Zainul Abidin asks from God. Of course, he asks many things. He asks from the salt of his food. Of course, not explicitly, but we know that he's asking for everything, up to paradise, closeness of God, and things that I'm going to mention here. In one of the paragraphs, he says, Allahumma inni as'aluka an tamla'a qalbi hubban lak. I ask you, O my Lord, to saturate my heart with your love. What can be given more than this from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Faith, good. Faith is good. All of us have faith to different degrees, inshallah, but love is different. Allah does not give that to everyone. So I ask you that you fill my heart with your love. If you love God, know that you are given a grand gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And do not compare it with other things that other people are given, especially worldly matters. We have in hadith that someone who is given the knowledge of Quran and thinks that anyone else is given something better than them, has contempt for the Quran. اللهم إني أسألك أن تملأ قلبي حبا لك وخشية منك. Khashya is that reverence which comes when one contemplates the glory and the might of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وتصديقا بكتابك, and believing, confirming what you have revealed in your holy book. This is what we need most today, because most of us do not have this tasdeeq for the Quran. We think that this is not for today anymore. It was for old ages. Our heart is somehow moving away to acknowledge what Allah has revealed. We just read it as stories. So, وَتَصْدِيقًا بِكِتَابِكَ وَإِيمَانًا بِكَ, faith in you, وَفَرَقًا مِنْكَ, fright from you, وَشَوْقًا إِلَيْكَ, and longing for you. How beautiful. He has put all these together. يَا ذَا الْجَلَالِ وَالْإِكْرَامِ. And then in another paragraph he says, اللهم إني أسألك من الخير كله ما علمت منه وما لا أعلم. Oh Lord, I ask you all the good that I know of, and that I do not know of. I know many things that are good in my heart, in my mind. I ask you for them, but there are things that I don't know. It's beyond me. Awliya Allah know about it. I ask from them as well. I ask you all the good that I know of and that I know not. أسألك اللهم من خير ما سألك منه عبادك الصالحون. It's a beautiful dua. I ask you from the best of what you have been asked by your righteous believers. What did Imam Ali ask from you? What did Imam Hussein ask from you? What did Fatima Zahra ask from you? I don't know what I want them. I want, because it may be beyond my understanding, beyond my comprehension. But do not deprive me because my comprehension is short. So from the best of what you have been asked by your righteous believers, Ya khayran man su'al, you are the best, the most generous of those who are ever asked, or whom are asked, ever were asked, and the most generous that has ever given. And then he mentions something very interesting and profusely spiritual. Allahumma khussani minka bikhassati dhikrik. Oh Lord, distinguish me with your distinctive remembrance. Now, this may be interpreted in two ways. I have a remembrance which is very special. The way I remember you, or the way you remember me, to be distinguished and very special. خصني منك بخاصة ذكرك ولا تجعل شيئا مما أتقرب به في آناء الليل وأطراف النهار رياء ولا سمعة ولا عشرا ولا بطر. And do not allow any of what I seek closeness to you with in the midst of nights or the extremes of days to be an object of pretension, seeking reputation, arrogance, or extravagance. Sometimes we do this, isn't it? And cause me to be of those who humble themselves to you. وَاجْعَلْنِي لَكَ مِنَ الْخَاشِعِينَ. These were all about the heart, about God, about khashya, love, reverence. Now, when it comes, asking about worldly matters. Allahumma a'tina as-sa'ata fi ar-rizq. Oh Lord, award me vastness in sustenance. Is khair. And security in my homeland. Wal-amna fil watan. Wa qurrat al-ayn. Fil ahli wal mali wal walad, and the comfort of the eye in family, finances, offsprings. Make my life enjoyable by giving these to me. Wal muqam fi ni'amika indi, and the continued enjoyment of your bounties. Do not give me for a while and take it away from me later on, for any reason which comes from me. I want صحة في الجسم, health and strength in the body, والقوة في البدن, والسلامة في الدين, safeguard in faith. And also I want you to use me, to utilize me to serve your religion in obedience to you and to the Prophet, peace be on him. اللهم إني أعوذ بك من الكسل والفشل والهم والجبن والبخل والغفلة والقسوة والمسكنة والفقر والفاقة وكل بلية. Oh my Lord, I seek refuge with you from laziness. It's very beautiful. I mean, the way in which every one of us are usually afflicted with laziness, failure, misery, cowardliness, stinginess, negligence, cruelty, humility, poverty, indigence, and every calamity. I seek refuge with you from all these things. And the exorbitant of sins, whether they are apparent or concealed. Allahumma taqabbal minni wa'ala dhikri. Accept my prayer and renown my commemoration. Elevate my position in the eyes of people. And of course, at the same time, he mentions in Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq of Sayyid Sajjadiyah, the same level that you raise me in the eyes of people. Bring me down and humiliate me in my heart. To feel humiliation before you while you are raising and elevating my dhikr among people. وَلَا تَذْكُرْنِ بِخَطِيئَتِي, and remember me not with my bad deed. وَاجْعَلْ ثَوَابَ مَجْلِسِي وَثَوَابَ مَنْطِقِي وَثَوَابَ دُعَائِي رِضَاكَ وَالْجَنَّةِ, and make the reward of my convening in this majlis with you, my speaking and my prayer in your satisfaction and heaven. Inshallah, Allah will grant all of us these prayers, whatever we recite in Dua Abu Hamza, inshallah, Allah grant them to us as well. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa alihi at-tahirin.